This video is not affiliated with, endorsed by, or sponsored by the National Institute for Automotive Service Excellence, ASE. It is created solely for educational purposes to help viewers expand their automotive knowledge and prepare for ASE-style topics. For official information, study materials, and certification details, please refer directly to ASE.
Hey everyone, welcome back to the channel. Today we've got something really helpful lined up for you. 50 practice multiple choice questions to test your knowledge and help you study smarter. Whether you're brushing up for an exam, preparing for a certification, or just wanting to strengthen your automotive skills, this video is designed to guide you step by step. Grab a notebook, follow along, and see how many you can get right. Let's dive in and start learning together.
1. A knocking noise occurs at idle and disappears under load. What's the likely cause? A. Loose piston pin. B. Rod bearing knock. C. Main bearing wear. Or D. Spark knock. Answer: A. Loose piston pin. Explanation: piston pin noise is light and metallic, most noticeable at idle or deceleration and less under load. 2. What can cause white exhaust smoke that smells like fuel? A. Coolant leak. B. Unburned fuel from misfire. C. Worn valve seals. Or D. Oil burning. Answer: B. Unburned fuel from misfire. Explanation: excess fuel exits unburned, producing a white-gray fuel-smelling smoke. 3. A vacuum gauge needle fluctuates rapidly at idle. What's the most likely cause? A. Sticking valve or valve spring problem. B. Worn piston rings. C. Retarded ignition timing. Or D. Restricted exhaust. Answer: A. Sticking valve or valve spring problem. Explanation: fluctuation indicates inconsistent cylinder sealing or valve movement. 4. A broken compression ring will cause A. Low compression and high blow-by. B. High oil pressure. C. Valve clatter. Or D. High compression. Answer: A. Low compression and high blow-by. Explanation: the ring fails to seal combustion gases, reducing compression and increasing crankcase pressure. 5. What can cause high oil pressure immediately after startup but normal afterward? A. Cold oil viscosity. B. Worn bearings. C. Sludge and oil passages. Or D. Blown head gasket. Answer: A. Cold oil viscosity. Explanation: thick, cold oil resists flow until it warms, creating temporary high pressure. 6. A vehicle has blue exhaust smoke only during deceleration. What's the cause? A. Worn valve seals. B. Worn piston rings. C. Rich mixture. D. Head gasket leak. Answer: A. Worn valve seals. Explanation: high vacuum on decel draws oil through worn seals into the intake ports. 7. Which component drives the oil pump in most engines? A. Crankshaft or camshaft. B. Timing belt. C. Balance shaft. D. Serpentine belt. Answer: A. Crankshaft or camshaft. Explanation: oil pumps are gear-driven mechanically from the crank or cam. 8. What can cause low compression on all cylinders? A. Incorrect valve timing. B. One burned valve. C. One broken piston ring. D. Faulty injector. Answer: A. Incorrect valve timing. Explanation: if the timing chain or belt slips, valves open and close out of sync, lowering all cylinder pressures. 9. a loose timing chain can cause? A. Rattling noise and erratic ignition timing. B. High oil pressure. C. Low coolant flow. D. Oil foaming. Answer: A. Rattling noise and erratic ignition timing. Explanation: the chain's slack alters cam timing and creates a rattle at idle. 10. A collapsed hydraulic lifter will cause: A. Valve tapping noise. B. Engine overheating. C. High oil pressure. D. Misfire with no noise. Answer: A. Valve tapping noise. Explanation: the lifter fails to fill with oil, preventing proper valve lift and causing ticking.
11. What is the function of the PCV valve? A. Release crankcase gases into the intake for reburning. B. Regulate coolant temperature. C. Filter oil vapors. Or D. Control ignition timing. The answer is A. Release crankcase gases into the intake for reburning. And the explanation is, the PCV system prevents crankcase pressure and emissions buildup. 12. What occurs if valve lash is too tight? A. Valves remain slightly open and burn. B. Engine noise increases. C. Valves open late. Or D. Oil pressure rises. The answer is A. Valves remain slightly open and burn. And the explanation is, tight lash prevents valves from fully seating, leading to hot spots and burning. 13. A steady rhythmic knocking noise that increases with RPM and load likely comes from A. Rod bearings. B. Valve lifters. C. Accessory belt. Or D. Exhaust leak. The answer is A. Rod bearings. And the explanation is, rod knocks are deep and get louder with load and speed. 14. What is the main function of piston oil control rings? A. Scrape excess oil off cylinder walls. B. Seal combustion gases. C. Filter oil vapors. Or D. Improve fuel economy. The answer is A. Scrape excess oil off cylinder walls. And the explanation is, the oil ring maintains a thin oil film while preventing excess oil burning. 15. Technician A says low oil pressure can cause lifter noise. Technician B says it can cause bearing failure. Who is correct? A. Technician A only. B. Technician B only. C. Both. Or D. Neither. The answer is C. Both. And the explanation is, lifters need pressure to stay filled and bearings depend on a full oil film. 16. What condition will cause black smoke? A. Rich mixture or leaking injector. B. Burned valve. C. Worn valve guides. D. Coolant leak. Answer: A. Rich mixture or leaking injector. Explanation: too much fuel results in unburned carbon soot. 17. A popping sound in the intake during acceleration indicates A. Lean mixture or incorrect ignition timing. B. Burned exhaust valve. C. Blown head gasket. D. Worn camshaft. Answer: A. Lean mixture or incorrect ignition timing. Explanation: combustion occurs back through the intake when the mixture or spark timing is off. 18. A misfire in two adjacent cylinders likely means A. Head gasket leak between cylinders. B. Dirty air filter. C. Low fuel pressure. D. Faulty oxygen sensor. Answer: A. Head gasket leak between cylinders. Explanation: a shared gasket section allows compression loss in both chambers. 19. What causes oil to appear foamy on the dipstick? A. Air in the oil system from overfill or aeration. B. Burned valve. C. Low oil pressure. D. Fuel contamination. Answer A. Air in the oil system from overfill or aeration. Explanation: the crankshaft churns oil when overfilled, mixing in air. 20. A broken timing belt on an interference engine will cause A. Bent valves. B. Engine overheating. C. High oil pressure. D. Low fuel economy. Answer A. Bent valves. Explanation: pistons contact open valves, causing severe internal damage.
21. What is the function of the oil pressure relief valve? A. Divert excess pressure to protect components. B. Prevent backflow from the filter. C. Lubricate the bearings. D. Increase pump output. Answer: A. Divert excess pressure to protect components. Explanation: the valve opens to prevent overpressurization during high RPM or cold starts. 22. Which component keeps oil from leaking past the crankshaft ends? A. Main seals. B. Valve seals. C. Oil scraper ring. D. Rear cam plug. Answer: A. Main seals. Explanation: front and rear main seals prevent oil escaping at the crankshaft exits. 23. What can cause high crankchase pressure and oil leaks? A. Stuck or blocked PCV system. B. Worn valve springs. C. Weak thermostat. D. Rich fuel mixture. Answer: A. Stuck or blocked PCV system. Explanation: pressure builds up without ventilation, forcing oil past seals. 24. If the oil pump pickup screen is restricted, what happens first? A. Oil starvation. B. High oil pressure. C. Misfire. D. Detonation. Answer: A. Oil starvation. Explanation: the restriction prevents oil from reaching the pump, starving the engine. 25. What can happen if head bolts are over-torqued? A. Distorted threads or cracked head. B. Poor sealing. C. Overheating. D. Oil consumption. Answer: A. Distorted threads or cracked head. Explanation: excessive torque stretches bolts and damages surfaces.
26. A worn camshaft lobe will cause A. Low valve lift and power loss. B. Overheating. C. High oil pressure. D. High idle speed. Answer: A. Low valve lift and power loss. Explanation: reduced lift limits air intake, causing low power and misfires. 27. What's the function of a crankcase breather? A. Allow fresh air into the crankcase. B. Cool the oil. C. Pressurize the crankshaft. D. Regulate PCV flow. Answer: A. Allow fresh air into the crankcase. Explanation: it balances airflow so the PCV system can evacuate gases effectively. 28. What happens if a valve spring breaks? A. Valve may not close and contact the piston. B. High oil pressure. C. Low coolant flow. D. Noisy timing chain. Answer: A. Valve may not close and contact the piston. Explanation: the spring can't return the valve properly, risking mechanical interference. 29. What's the most accurate way to check for a warped cylinder head? A. straight edge and feeler gauge, B, dial bore gauge, C, compression test, D, vacuum gauge. Answer: A, straight edge and feeler gauge. Explanation: this measures flatness deviation across the head surface. 30. What can cause blue exhaust smoke at all times? A, worn piston rings, B, coolant leak, C, rich mixture, D, lean condition. Answer: A, worn piston rings. Explanation: oil burns continuously past worn rings, turning exhaust blue.
31. A vacuum gauge reads steady but low at idle. What's the cause? A, late valve timing or worn rings. B, burned valve. C, vacuum leak. D, sticky valve. Answer: A, late valve timing or worn rings. Explanation: low uniform vacuum indicates general internal wear or retarded cam timing. 32. If the thermostat sticks open, what happens? A, engine runs too cool and poor heater performance. B, overheating. C, high oil pressure. D, blue smoke. Answer: A, engine runs too cool and poor heater performance. Explanation: coolant circulates too freely, preventing optimal operating temp. 33. A customer reports low oil pressure after engine overhaul. What's the likely cause? A, excessive bearing clearance. B, wrong thermostat. C, high oil level. D, faulty oxygen sensor. Answer: A, excessive bearing clearance. Explanation: over-clearanced bearings let oil escape too easily, dropping pressure. 34. What happens if camshaft end play is excessive? A, erratic timing and knocking noise. B, high oil pressure. C, stuck valves. D, oil starvation. Answer: A, erratic timing and knocking noise. Explanation: cam movement changes timing and may cause mechanical tapping. 35. What test confirms coolant entering combustion chambers? A, block gas, CO2, test. B, compression test. C, vacuum test. D, leak down test only. Answer: A, block gas, CO2, test. Explanation: detects combustion gases in the radiator or reservoir. 36. A constant low-pitched rumble that increases with RPM but not load is usually caused by A, main bearing wear. B, rod bearing knock. C, piston slap. D, loose valve lash. Answer: A, main bearing wear. Explanation: main bearing noise is deeper and steadier than rod knock and changes with speed, not load. 37. What happens if piston to cylinder clearance is too tight? A, piston seizure when hot. B, blue exhaust smoke. C, low oil pressure. D, valve float. Answer: A, piston seizure when hot. Explanation: insufficient clearance leaves no room for thermal expansion, causing the piston to scuff or seize. 38. What is the function of the oil control valve in variable valve timing or VVT systems? A, regulate oil flow to cam phaser. B, maintain crankcase pressure. C, divert excess oil back to sump. D, increase pump output. Answer: A, regulate oil flow to cam phaser. Explanation: The valve directs pressurized oil to advance or retard camshaft timing. 39. What would cause the engine to have a slow cranking speed even with a good battery? A. Excessive bearing friction or advanced ignition timing. B. Weak starter relay. C. Clogged air filter. D. Bad PCV valve. Answer: A. Excessive bearing friction or advanced ignition timing. Explanation: mechanical drag or premature spark firing resists crankshaft movement. 40. A vehicle overheats at highway speeds but cools at idle. What is the likely cause? A. Restricted radiator core. B. Bad thermostat. C. Weak cooling fan motor. D. Stuck open PCV valve. Answer: A. Restricted radiator core. Explanation: at high speeds, insufficient flow through a clogged radiator limits cooling.
41. A technician observes oil pressure that rises excessively at high RPM. What is the likely cause? A. Stuck oil pressure relief valve. B. Worn bearings. C. Thin oil viscosity. D. Air in the system. Answer: A. Stuck oil pressure relief valve. Explanation: when the valve cannot open, excess pressure builds as RPM increases. 42. Which condition will cause coolant loss with no visible leaks and white smoke from the exhaust? A. Blown head gasket. B. Bad radiator cap. C. Leaking water pump. D. Clogged heater core. Answer: A. Blown head gasket. Explanation: combustion gases draw coolant into the cylinder, burning it as white vapor. 43. A cracked exhaust manifold will cause A. Ticking noise during acceleration. B. Blue smoke. C. Low oil pressure. D. Coolant loss. Answer: A. Ticking noise during acceleration. Explanation: escaping exhaust pulses make a sharp tick that's more noticeable under load. 44. What can result from running an engine with a lean air-fuel mixture for too long? A. Burned valves or pistons. B. Blue exhaust smoke. C. Oil foaming. D. Valve float. Answer: A. Burned valves or pistons. Explanation: excess heat from a lean mixture damages combustion components. 45. What happens if an oil passage to the camshaft is blocked? A. Lifter or cam wear with ticking noise. B. Oil foaming. C. High oil pressure at idle. D. Coolant contamination. Answer: A. Lifter or cam wear with ticking noise. Explanation: lack of lubrication in the top end quickly causes wear and audible tapping. 46. Which component maintains constant oil pressure despite engine speed? A. Oil pressure relief valve. B. Oil cooler. C. Oil pickup tube. D. Anti-drain back valve. Answer: A. Oil pressure relief valve. Explanation: it opens to divert oil back to the sump, stabilizing pressure across RPM range. 47. A bent connecting rod will cause A. Uneven piston height at TDC. B. High compression. C. Valve noise. D. Coolant leak. Answer: A. Uneven piston height at TDC. Explanation: the rod's deformation shortens its stroke, lowering piston position. 48. What condition will cause oil consumption with no visible leaks or smoke? A. Faulty PCV valve pulling oil vapor into intake. B. Burned valves. C. High oil pressure. D. Worn main bearings. Answer: A. Faulty PCV valve pulling oil vapor into the intake manifold. Explanation:
A malfunctioning PCV system can draw oil mist into the intake manifold unseen. 49. What condition will cause coolant to appear rusty or brown? A. Corrosion from lack of maintenance. B. Fuel contamination. C. Low oil level. D. Faulty thermostat. Answer A. Corrosion from lack of maintenance. Explanation: old coolant loses its corrosion inhibitors, causing rust formation inside the block. 50. During engine assembly, why is it important to pre-lube bearings and cam lobes? A. Prevent dry startup wear before oil pressure builds. B. Reduce compression during break-in. C. Increase oil pressure faster. D. Help seat the piston rings immediately. Answer A. Prevent dry startup wear before oil pressure builds. Explanation: initial rotation occurs before full oil pressure develops. Pre-lube protects critical surfaces.
Thanks so much for studying with us today. I hope these practice questions helped boost your confidence and sharpen your skills. If you enjoyed this video, don't forget to like, subscribe, and hit the notification bell so you won't miss the next study session. You can click the links on screen right now to watch another study video and keep your learning going. I'll see you over there.